What's going on, you guys? So George Kambosos comes out and says that he see a mental weakness in Devin the Dream Haney. That he found a weakness. He must have been really studying Devin Haney hard, right? He must have been watching every interview, every video, every fight, every encounter just to find this particular weakness in Devin the Dream Haney. Hit that like button for your boy. He been an HBO special. That's the Help a Brother Out special. We're on the road to 15,000 subscribers. Well, George Ferocious Kambosos comes out and says that he sees a mental weakness in Devin Haney. And it's funny that this weakness that he found, right? The only thing that he got find is a speech impediment that Devin Haney has, right? That's the only weakness that he found in Devin the Dream Haney. Is this little speech impediment that he has. And yeah, he says this here. He says, I see the mental weakness. And I see it already with Devin Haney. I didn't think I would see it that fast, straight away, Kamboso said. He stutters a lot for a guy that's supposedly a defensive kind of guy, right? The stuttering is not a good sign. You see, me, I never stutter. I'm always zoned in and very sharp with what I say. After this fight, and after the beating, I'm prepared to lash out. It's going to be worse, said Kamboso. Now, he could just be talking trash, right? This could be his way of trash talking, because come on, bro. You really can't believe that the speech impediment has something to do with him like getting hit a lot in fights or something like that. Devin Haney, a lot of dudes tend to have speech impediments, man. A lot of us grew up with some friends that may have a speech impediment. They figured it out along the way. Remember Jack Jenkins from Harlem Nights, right? He had a terrible speech impediment. It was a movie, right? But still, he was a heavyweight champion. He was knocking people out. It didn't matter how he talked, right? You know, some of these dudes sound funny, but they can fight. Some of these dudes can't talk, but they can fight. So really, George Kambosos is looking for a way to really sell this fight. And yeah, he says this: I'll break him down before the fight. I know I will. I already have. See, this is what he's trying to do. He said he's trying to break him down. He's trying to get into his mind mentally. He's trying to psych him out. He's trying to just really get Devin Haney riled up. It's going to be hell going over to Australia for Devin Haney. You best believe it. So he better be prepared. And actually, when you look at Devin Haney, he's already in shape going into camp. I mean, this kid is extremely disciplined. He says, I want to collect that. No, he says, I'm fighting a guy with another piece of WBC title. I want to collect that, and I will collect. I'm in my prime. I know he's not in his prime yet. I'm back home after 5 years. I achieved all these belts beating the best guy. It doesn't matter who it was going to be. That's what Haney has to understand. All you're bringing is that half of a piece of WBC title that I want. And that's it. That's all I want. You come to the fight and you get your pay. Hell of a pay, too. George Kambosos is doing a lot of trash talking right now, right? He's doing a lot of trash talking. And then, you know, we seen what George was doing. He put on his promoter hat when he came over here. So George Kambosos is going to be doing a lot of talking leading up to this fight. And rightfully so. You know, you got to do something to get the people interested. Now, bringing up that Devin Haney's speech impediment may be a mental weakness. I mean, that's the only thing you can find, bro. Is that the only thing you can find, George? And Devin Haney's weakness? He's a young fighter. He should have some holes that you feel you could exploit other than their mental weakness because of his speech impediment, because he stutters. Right? So he says this: I don't know what are all these excuses of him taking less. He's talking about the money issue, right? And he's only getting a small amount to make this fight happen. That's a load of shit. He's getting millions and millions of dollars. Wow. So yeah, we heard the reports that he's getting a lowball offer. You know, George may have seen the reports. These fighters and these guys watch these videos. They watch the articles. They read the articles. They see what these people are talking about. They see what everybody be talking about. And yeah, he said he's getting millions and millions and millions of dollars. But according to what we was hearing, he's getting a lowball offer for this fight. And George is getting millions and millions and millions of dollars, right? Then he says, so come here, we put on a great show and beat him. Not only we beat him, but we beat him up. It's very exciting because I know where excuse me. I know where I come from. I come from the trenches. You see exactly where I come from, said Kambosos. So he said he come from the trenches. He come from the street. He come from the gutter. George Gutter Kambosos. Hey, Gutter George. He ain't playing out here, I guess, right? Oh man, he said he go always, and then he proceeds to say things like he's always going to have a chip on his shoulder, he'll never let it go, blah 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 blah. He said he's staying focused on Devin Haney. And yeah, that's pretty much it. He wants Lomachenko next, and things of the nature. You can read the article later. But yeah, George Kamboso is doing a lot of talking. He going to have to do a lot of walking June 4th, man. Devin Haney's going to be a tough fight for him. Devin Haney got a lot going for him. I mean, and look. This whole speech thing, bro, is don't he just I think this is just the way to sell a fight, bro. You can't be fooled by some stupid shit like that. This is a young guy who stays in shape. I mean, he was born to be a boxer. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney, he didn't have to do nothing but box. Like, come on, bro. Like, look at the kind of shape this kid is in. And he's already going into shape. He's going into camp already in shape. He ain't playing no games. You know what I'm saying? He's going over there on a mission in Melbourne, Australia. And of course, George Kamboso going to have to sell the fight. It's going to be a good fight as the weeks go by. You know, a lot of back and forth between these dudes, and we go stay tuned into it as it happens. But yeah, man, that's what George Kambosos had to say. He said that he found a weakness in Devin the Dream Haney, and it goes by the way of a speech impediment, by the way of stuttering. Like, subscribe, hide your boy. Peace out.